Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 24. It's episode number 10. There's going to be a little bit of rust to shake off. I was on vacation. I'm now just back from that vacation. And time away is, well, it's refreshing, to say the least. But it's also usually a little bit of a setback for you. It's going to take some time to get used to things once again. We just got our first victory in that last episode, and that's what I'm trying to follow up right now. In terms of the overall, the GC, myself and anyone on the team is too far out of it. So that's not a factor. We've got 2 stages left. I'm 15 points behind in the King of the Mountains. Probably not going to feature in that one. But right now, I do lead the points classification by 9 points. And I do have a slight lead in the combativity award at this point. So right now, points classification and the combativity are the 2 primary targets. Maybe the KOM, but unlikely on that one. Let's see what's left with 2 stages to go. Beginning of the stage, I attacked first, but the initial break, we were caught very quickly. I attacked a second time. And we're at the base of a Cat 1 climb. I have a 9-man break, but they are chasing this one down as well. Got some early kilometers, but this is getting rather tough. And we're caught.
The peloton has just joined up with a breakaway.
Trying to recover red bar here quickly without dropping too fast so that I can take a chance at attacking once again before too many riders end up getting away. If things work out timing-wise, I could end up getting maximum points on this climb, but it's 23.5 kilometers. This is not going to be easy. I've got enough to get away once again. Let's see what happens this time. This time, the gap over the peloton is going much faster. It's out to 30 seconds, but now they've changed their mind. They're not happy. They're not content. There's 6 of us plus Gaviria. Now down to just 6. Is the gap going to go out again, or is it holding steady? It's holding steady for now. It's at 20 seconds. A lot of the same riders trying to get away. First difficult section is now going to be behind me. The climb gets easier for quite a while here. I do have a group of 6, and the field is chasing once again, and it's largely the same riders over and over again that keep following me. I may have to concede that today is not going to be a breakaway kind of day, and they just get whatever points that I can manage to get at the intermediate sprint. Ooh, I have separation there for a moment. This time I go clear. This time I do have a little more separation than before, without anybody chasing.
Stay well placed.
Gap is out to 1 minute. The front 3 are pulling away from me as well, but if the peloton goes back far enough and then sit up, I could probably close down the front 3 at that point. Peloton definitely decided they are okay with our group being away, and it's now over 2 minutes. But there's still a lot of climbing left to do on this one, and I'm still well behind the front 3. My gap to them seems to have stabilized, and the front 3 have sat up. This is what I was predicting, is that once the peloton sits up, it backs off enough, the front 3 will back off, and it's allowing me to get into the group. This is good. That was the move to join. So Pache, Vermark, and Conchi. I'm gonna have to take over control here. I'm not riding gentle enough. We've got 4.5k from the top here. I've got very little energy left at this point. Gap over the peloton has quickly grown out to nearly 5 minutes. So we are comfortable on that part. Now it's all about whether I can finish the climb still here in the group and not get dropped, as we still have 3.5k to go, and I have very little energy left in riding solo on the climb as long as I did, plus the numerous attacks. I don't believe any of these 3 were involved in the earlier attacks, only this final one, so it was a lot easier on them to get away than it has been on myself. With the gap now increasing beyond 5 minutes. Inside 1 kilometer, Pache has been in multiple breakaways. He's got 1 point more than I do in the King of the Mountains right now. He's third in the kilometers for the combativity, and I'm down to my last kind of ounce of energy here as we go for the line. I'm second over the top, 8 points. It's a good amount of points, but it's not a win on that one.
The first part of the descent is on a very wide road. There will be no danger for the riders.
Alright folks, intermediate sprint. This is what I'm here for. It's the opportunity to grab 20 points or close to it. And the guys seem to be pushing on already. Staying in the slipstream, full gas. I don't have enough pace, but I'll get second across the line. 17 points. 17 points is good. It's certainly helpful. Christoph, Gaviria, Damar, further down. And the guy who was actually number 2 isn't getting points at all. So it's going to help us pull away from him. I've got a real shot at winning this points jersey. One more stage to go after this one. My problem here is at the end of the stage, I've got to try to have something left to compete for the sprint and see if I can get a few points anyway and not lose a ton of ground, as this is very much the sprint stage of this race, even though that initial climb was rather challenging. Closing in on the final KOM of the day, this is just an opportunity to win a KOM. We're still ahead of the peloton, minute 17 ahead. This is going to be my last little burst of energy. I don't want to go too hard for this, but if they don't push, I'll take it.
Sprinters will have the last word today.
For now, just holding a steady climb, and that's going to see me get dropped. These guys are pushing too hard. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them go. The peloton's on its way. I'm thinking about the sprint now. I'm not going to win the King of the Mountains. It's not happening. Pache gets it again. He was 1 point ahead. He gained 3 points on me today, so he's 4 points ahead now of me. And I was 15 behind. I gained 8, so I was 7 behind. And there's a few other guys. I have a small chance for the next stage on this one, but
it's still able to widen the gap.
I was not going to beat those guys head to head. So peloton's coming, minute 24 now. I'm going to actually really just kind of set up and conserve my energy for the stage finish. 24K to go. 3.5 kilometers were set up for the finish, and I'm still looking fairly good. It's all about trying to get into position. Parashon is protecting me. No support right now, but I'm scooting forward with 2K to go now here on this stage. I'm not going to win this sprint. Not against actual sprinters, but if I can get into a good enough position, I could and should at least get a decent finish, as we're coming up on 1K to go. So I'm beginning my soft sprint for now. Now full gas all the way to the finish line to finish as high as I can. If I can get some points on the way in there. I don't know if that was enough to get any points on the stage or not, but even if I only got a few, it will help with that points classification. I picked up 19 points, so I did gain 2 points there at the end of the stage with that 15th place finish, as I had 17 at the intermediate sprint. So it was worthwhile to make that effort. Menton is the one who won the stage and picked up 50 points, and I'm not sure he was much of a threat in the points classification prior. That's definitely a good thing for me. We'll see where we're at in just a moment. But as for the combativity for the stage, 93 kilometers. Pache did gain a little bit of ground on me there. That's definitely not wrapped up yet either. General classification, I am still 28th at 8:16 KOM. Solaire still leads. The lead is down to 7 points, but Pache has also moved up into that one. He's just 4 points down, and he seems to want it. So if he's going to go in the breakaway again on the final stage to try to get the points he needs to go top, well, he's going to be chasing me on the combativity as well, and that's a bit of a worry. In the points classification, I am ahead by 14. Menton had no points other than winning the stage on this one. So interesting there, and I'm looking pretty dang good on everybody else in that classification. Combativity, 25k advantage over Pache. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat him, but other than double, nobody else is even in range for the final stage to challenge. We've got a real shot at points classification. We've got a real shot at the combativity, leading both of them right now, and a tiny chance at the KOM. Early KOM opportunities, big KOM opportunities late that could be split. First climb with breakaway, second climb or final climb very well could come down to GC favorites at that point. Intermediate sprint, the sprinters should be gone after that. I think if I can make the breakaway, I think I can easily wrap up the points classification. Early in the stage, half-minute advantage. Riders spread out, quite a few of us. We're looking at least 9 off the front right now. And the gaps definitely go in the right direction. And Matteo Trentin and I are the front pair at the moment, getting the best advantage. Still a little while before the first classified climb. We'll see what happens in the next little bit. Coming up on that first KOM already, and a group just made contact with us. So there's now 11 riders in the front of the field. I'm going to try to go early this time and see if I can catch anybody out to win this KOM. And I have gained separation. Now the trick is can I keep that separation? It's 7 seconds the advantage that I have. Let's go and use the red bar, give myself a little more oomph. 4 seconds ahead, 400 meters. Let's get that last little bit. Here comes Tron. Here comes Storer. I am going to go over the top first, maybe. Get the throw just in case. We got it. Hey, we led over the top of a Cat 4. Meanwhile, the peloton is already a minute 46 behind, so we've nearly got the break established now. There's 5 of us here. There's 4 chasing. There's others. Groups really spread out this time. But key number 1. I'm collecting kilometers at the front. Combativity is looking very good at this moment. Points, almost a lock, especially if this break survives. KOM, nobody else here was really interested in it, so I am gaining points. I've picked up 1 so far. I was, 7 behind? 8 behind? I think it was 7. Now 6. You have a chance at it. The Cat 3, the Cat 4, if I can get points on those, we can cut that down to about 3. I'll still have to be alive in the main group or in the break, when we hit that Cat 1, the penultimate climb. I won't have to pick up very many points. I won't have to win it. I won't have to get the 10, but if I can get second or third over the top, or first over the top, I think we can win the KOM based on how things are looking right now, based on who is riding in the breakaway today. So it's still a possibility. Combativity is the one I'm really worried about, though, and the guys with me have been in breaks, but none of them are a threat to it. Therefore, I could potentially sweep. Second climb of the day. We're into the last 2 kilometers of it. It's a 6.5 kilometer climb overall, but the steepest is near the top. We are together now as a break. We had 14 riders, but we have dropped a couple who came on a little bit later and a little more tired, and others have split up. So the peloton, it's getting down to a small thing. And I've got a real chance to get this because nobody here is really contesting the KOM, and it's the final stage. And no one here is contesting the points, and it's the final stage. And the combativity, there's somebody who is 4th, but they're not a major threat in this one. I'm ahead, but to have anything left, Kron's going to get this one, it looks like. But if I can get 1 point, no, I can't get 1 point. Reichenbach and Storer come through and take all the points, the teammates. Peloton 3 minutes behind, 13 riders back together, but a lot of guys that are definitely showing fatigue. There's only 1 point available here. I'm going to go early this time. Clearly, I don't have enough head-to-head to outpunch all of these guys. So trying to go early and trying to get that advantage. I'm 25 seconds ahead. It looks like I have succeeded in this mission to claim this point. 40 seconds ahead. Got it. Second KOM1 of the stage. Beating the likes of Trentin for this intermediate sprint is going to be really hard, but it's not that I need to win this intermediate sprint, though I would certainly like to because of how helpful it will be to me to win an intermediate sprint and improve my sprint rating, and I might just get it because nobody else cares. Nobody else cared enough. I've won it. Nice. And I've won the points classification. I've got the points classification one for sure. 12 of us left, 2-minute gap. We've got a long ways to go till our feed zone, and then on to that penultimate climb, Cat 1. I need about 6 points, I think, 7, to win the polka dot jersey, to win the KOM. Keeping things automated for the time being. Base of the climb, 11.5 kilometers, 7%. It is not an easy climb. It will not be easy for me to still be here at the top of the climb. I've been in the breakaway a lot more than the other riders around me. The group's already down to 10. And speaking of down to, a lot of teammates are down to low energy and they need to use their gels. I'm going to use my own gel here in a moment. And finally time for Lozano and myself.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
We're down to 9. 5K from the top. 5K from the top. This is the last thing that I need. If I can get good points on this climb. And I really shouldn't be the guy working right now. We're down to 8. Oh, Reichenbach come through. Thank you.
He has ambitions for the polka dot jersey.
You've got 1 minute 30 lead on the group with the favorites.
Minute 30 over the peloton. It's okay for them to catch us on the next climb. It's not okay for them to catch us on this climb. We need to still be at the head for this climb. And I need to get, I think, a top 2 position. I don't think 3rd is going to be enough over the top of this climb. Still a minute and a half ahead of the peloton. Down to 2.5K on the climb. It does flatten out a little bit in that final kilometer, making it a little more sprint heavy. I'm pretty low on energy, but it does look like I'll have enough left to try to contest and go for this one. Down to 3. Reichenbach and somebody behind me. No, make that 4. No, just Reichenbach and I. Reichenbach and I are the last 2. We are pulling away from them. 1.5K to go. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good for our chances, folks. Might just happen. Chasing field is still a minute and a half back. Final kilometer, 23 seconds ahead of the chasers. Reichenbach attacks. It's okay if he wins it. I mean, I want to win it, but it's okay if he wins it. But I'm going to follow him right up till the end. Follow right till the end.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey.
And it's going to be second. It's going to be second. He gets the full 10 points. But I get 8 points. I get 8 points. I should be the virtual leader now. I should be the virtual leader of the King of the Mountains. We need to check Reichenbach and see just how much does he have. And can I make contact with him here?
The top spot of the climber standings. That's good.
I just took the top spot. There's still one more climb to go, though. There you go. We've made the contact.
And is making his team ride to reel you in and go for the stage win. Don't relax.
Here's our situation. I've caught Reichenbach. I'm half recovered, still descending. Schmid and one other rider are a minute 14 behind us, so we have a healthy advantage over them. Tish Benut plus 3 others are nearly caught by the peloton, which is down to 63 riders. Lozano being protected, and our leader for this one to hang on as long as he can. All right, immediately into the second climb, 8.9 kilometers, 8.2%, and very steep for the last about 3 to 4 kilometers. And we've been caught by 2 other riders. Now 7 of us just a minute away. The good thing for me, though, is I want the peloton to come back. I do not want us to still be away at the top of this climb. Cavilli gets dropped. Van Wilder has attacked the peloton. Lozano now on his own. 2.8k from the top. 5 of us here. Now 8. Van Wilder's caught us.
You have 30 seconds lead.
Lozano. I'm in the peloton. Okay. There you go. There's your top of the climb. Bowden has won it. 10 points for him. I don't know. He was the leader overall. I know he had to have some points. But Soler was the one who had the most KOM points, I believe, and he didn't collect any, so we may have enough for this KOM. 23k, and it's a descent towards the finish. I'm in the 4th group on the road. There's 9 riders at the front. They have a 1 minute advantage over 5 chasers. My group is 2 minutes behind. Tarme is alone in an intermediate group there. We are seconds behind him. It looks like we're about to make contact with him, and we do. But the front couple of groups are all split up now. So 9 of us chasing, 13k to go. Still descending.
10 kilometers for the lead.
Ooh, I'm down to a group of 4. We left a big chunk of our group behind. Front 9 back together. Still 2 minutes down.
Acceleration of the
inside
front of the
10k.
No falling asleep.
Front group splits. Then Wilder has been split off. They're half a minute down. Our group is actually closing the gap and catching Champerson.
Left for the head of the race.
5k banner, we're 2k behind the front guys. We're not going to catch them. But we're in the top 20. This is a top 20 performance right now. 3.6k left. Bowden wins ahead of Soler, Carr, Mankies, and Christian Rodriguez. Top 10's definitely out of reach, but we're coming up on the 1k banner here.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
And we go for the finish line.
Watch out.
For 14th, I think.
No more energy to attack.
14th? That's a heck of a finish right there. Especially after being in the breakaway all day long. Combativity should be a win. Check. Points definitely should be a win, especially with some extra points at the finish line. Check. King of the Mountains. Maybe, just maybe. Could I claim 3 classifications and a stage win in this race? What a bonus. What a set of bonuses this would be.
A few minutes ago,
here we go. Podium celebrations. Well, there's Decathlon on top, but not this Decathlon.
He's in sparkling form, and you can
That's me. That's me. We've got one jersey one. Which one is this? Points. Points classification. We knew that one was coming, but that is confirmation. Points classification victory.
His jersey in his trophy room. Let's hope for him that he can add more. We can say that everything is going well
No.
at the moment.
I do not win the polka dots.
Jersey of this stage.
That's a stage overall and
Let's hope
King of the
for his
Mountains
sake
for
that
Bowden.
things go as well in the future.
Alright, so 14th on the stage at 2:15 down. That's going to move me up to GC, but not into that high of a position. The top 5 are definitely your contenders for the overall. We, of course, already know who has claimed that one. King of the Mountains for the stage, 10 points. That was enough to move me up, but that was not enough to win it. Points, 22 on the stage, and that was enough to have the most on the stage, and I already led the classification, so I held on to it. Young Rider, 5th on the day. Team, we were 16th. Combativity, led coming into the day, led on the day. That's a guarantee. That's a win for the combativity as well. So points classification, combativity, close on the KOM. Let's find out how close. Up to 19th in the general classification at 10:41 down. Tops for the team And this is the type of environment where in the future I'd like to see what I'm capable of in a GC scenario. Something like the Dauphiné, Pyrenees, way too tough. I'm not there yet. But for these minor races, I'm curious to see what I can do GC-wise. Can I crack the top 10? Somebody like Soler looks like somebody who's really tough for me to beat. But can I get a top 5 in this race if I were protected by teammates? I would venture to think I can just about pull that off. Second, 2 points behind in the King of the Mountains. So close. I do get ahead of Soler today. Got ahead of Pache. Reichenbach picked up 12 points, but he only had 8 previously, so it only brought him to 20. Wow. Last climb, Bowden gets 10 points he needed to take it. He was on 22 entering this one, and he and I had identical points today, so I stay 2 points behind him. That close, folks. That close. The Cat 3, that second climb of the day, where those 2 points were available, would that have been enough, or would have Bowden probably would have had it anyway, right? Points comfortable. 33 points clear. Young rider, I ended up 5th actually in that, not just on the stage, but in the overall. Team classification was 4th, 42 minutes down, but the combativity, there's that confirmation. I win it comfortably, 161 kilometers ahead of Pache. I have moved up to 58th with 88 individual ranking points for this season. That's still down the order quite a ways. Lutsenko was the highest ranked individual who was in this race that picked up some amount of points anyway. Leknesund, Van Wilder, myself next, Bowden right behind me, 83 points now. He picked up 62 of those here. I picked up 24 points out of this and bring my haul up to 88 for the season. That's pretty good. And that's obviously the vast majority of the points for the team. The entire rest of the team has 30 points. I have 88. As a team, we're 23rd. I would say Tudor's the only one who can challenge us, and it's quite the gap ahead of us. So 23rd or 24th seems assured at this point. Season is just about done anyway. Not sure what else there is to score out there. It's definitely better than, 31st, 30th, 29th, where our team would probably be otherwise. And even the 30 points that they picked up would be enough to be 25th, 24th right now. But without me telling them to use their gels at optimum times, without having riders protect other riders, I would imagine we probably wouldn't be scoring quite as many points as we've managed to score. But certainly my 88 are the vast majority of what we've managed to do this season, and it's putting us in a position to be better. I don't know how it works in this format for rider changes. I know when you have your own custom team how it works, but these are the real riders, and I don't know if they're going to stay the same year after year. We'll find out soon enough as we hit the end of the season, but that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.